Hi everyone, I'm the Lloyd, and this channel is all about making your home smart using Apple Homekit. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the SwitchBot lineup to see if their products deserve to be in your smart home. I bet you've heard about SwitchBot, known for their creative solutions for making ordinary products smart. You may recognize their bot and curtain, but now they have so many different accessories. A huge thank you to SwitchBot for sending me some of their products to test out for review. As always, you will get my unbiased feedback. First of all, let's get this out of the way. SwitchBot does not support HomeKit, at least yet. And I really wish they did. But not all is lost because many of their accessories support Siri Shortcuts, and you can also go the Homebridge route to bring many of their accessories right into HomeKit. This will allow you to include SwitchBot products into your HomeKit scenes and automations. I did this just last week using Hoobs, so I'll link that video so you can check that out after this video if you want to learn more. I have a bunch of accessories that I'm going to discuss with you today, and at the end, I'll let you know how these products work with the Apple Smart Home, both with and without using Hoobs. I'll also have chapters as well, so feel free to bounce around and get the information on the accessories that you're most interested in. I'll have links to all these products below, along with some Black Friday discount codes to save you 35% for a limited time until Sunday, November 28th, so act quickly. First, let's talk about the SwitchBot Hub. The Hub sells for around $50 Canadian, and it's recommended for better performance and gives you access to control your devices with your favorite smart assistant, such as using Siri Shortcuts. Not only that, but it includes an IR blaster to make remote control devices smart. The lights I use to record videos have a remote to turn them on and off, or to adjust the brightness and light temperature. Using the SwitchBot Hub Mini, I can easily control these using a Siri shortcut. The hub does need line of sight in order to communicate, so just keep that in mind. This could be used for any of your infrared devices like TVs, speakers, or maybe even a fireplace. Where I live, temperatures are getting cooler and winter is sadly just around the corner. And cold weather also means dry air, so having a humidifier can really help. I've owned several humidifiers in my lifetime, but I've never had one that's smart, and I have to say, it's quite nice. As you would expect, there's an auto mode that lets you set your desired humidity level, as well as a schedule. I love that I can control it with my HomePod Mini or my phone now. Sometimes at night, I just want to be able to turn it on or off without having to get out of bed. It's so easy to add a Siri shortcut. From the settings page, click on Cloud Services, Siri Shortcuts, and then just add any of the shortcuts that you see here. SwitchBot also sells NFC tags that you can use to turn your device on or off, which can be really helpful if you don't want to use Siri in the middle of the night or have to fiddle around with the app when you're half asleep. I put this in our bedroom and I find it works very well. There's an LED indicator light on the front which can be turned off in the app, and I think all companies should add this feature since when sleeping, the darker the room, the better. This unit's also quiet, so it doesn't wake us up at night, and I like the design. It's simple and it's easy to fit into our home. I think I could basically put this in any room and it would look nice. To fill up the water tank, you can easily pull out the tank, but you also have the option to pour water directly into the tank. This is the first humidifier I've owned where I could do this, and I think it's a pretty nice feature to be able to top it up this way. There's also a little spot to add some essential oils, so you can use it as a diffuser. You do need to make sure that you add the oil to the special compartment only, as adding it to the water in the tank directly can damage the unit. In addition to using Siri Shortcuts, since I've added it to Hoobs, it's even easier and I can see it right within the Home app and incorporate it into my home automations. This was my favorite of the SwitchBot products that I tested, and I do recommend it for anyone living in a dry climate. If anyone's interested in a full dedicated video on just the SwitchBot humidifier, then leave me a comment. Okay, onto the bot, the SwitchBot Bot. Basically, this is a smart button pusher, capable of making so many devices smart. Where you put them will depend on the devices or appliances that you want to use. Let's start with coffee makers because this is a really common use for these bots. I have the Nespresso Saties, and I can't make it smart by just using a smart plug because once it's powered on or once it's plugged in, it requires the button to be pushed. Unfortunately, SwitchBot won't work for my particular machine because of the lip around the button preventing the button from being pushed. The machine warms up quickly, so honestly, it's not a huge deal for me, but that is something to watch out for. I also have to point out that these bots are not tiny. I do find them a little bit bulky if in a main space, but they sure do solve a problem. It just depends on where in your house they're going. They also come in black and white, so you do have some options. So here's where I placed mine. I have one on my HRV so I can turn it on or off from anywhere in the house. I can't adjust the fan speed and I don't have the ability to change any of the settings, but the ability to simply turn it on or off can be really helpful, especially during those humid summer days or those bitter cold days where the furnace or AC is bringing in enough fresh air. It's so nice to be able to have the option to just turn it off. You could even set up a humidity-based automation to have it turned off at a particular humidity level. Because it's a button press, there's no way to keep track of whether it's on or off, so it's not perfect and it does require some attention to be aware of the current state that it's in. Next, I placed one on my range hood. Since this light isn't smart, it's convenient to be able to simply ask Siri to turn it on or off. I like the functionality of this, although since it's in my kitchen, I'm personally not sold on keeping this device here long term. But let me know what you think. Does function or style come first in your home? Leave me a comment. The last SwitchBot I'm using is in my shower bathroom light. Since this is one of the last lights in my house that isn't smart, this is really handy. To connect this to the light switch, there's an adhesive that connects to part of the bot that comes out so it can turn a paddle switch from on to off. In the settings, you just need to set this up in switch mode. If I'm not in the shower, I can simply holler at my HomePod Mini, which is an emission battery base, and ask Siri to turn the lights on. I can also create an automation with one of their door and window sensors that turns the lights on when the shower door closes. Since I keep the door open when it's not in use, this works well. There's also a light sensor to ensure it's only triggered when there isn't much light. Now, one question you may have is why not just use a smart switch? I do think that a smart switch is a better way to go, but at around $36 Canadian, this is a really economical option. And that is just regular price because right now there's a limited time Black Friday deal on until November 28th. So I'll have links and a promo code to save 35% in the description. In addition to the price, this means that you don't have to mess with wires, which could be especially helpful for those that are renting. Keep in mind this only works with paddle switches, not toggle switches. SwitchBot sells an indoor camera for right around $38 Canadian, and I have a couple of these that I've been testing out. This is a 1080p camera with a 130-degree viewing angle and includes two-way audio. I have one of these in my front entrance and another one in my bedroom looking outside. I find the picture quality to be good, especially for this price point. The camera also has night vision, but my biggest issue is that the camera's not compatible with Siri Shortcuts, and I haven't found a Hoobs plugin that works with these cameras either in order to bring them into HomeKit. But if you're looking for an inexpensive indoor camera, these do work great within the SwitchBot app, and of course, a good option if you happen to be in another ecosystem like Google or Alexa. For recording, I'm using a micro USB card that wasn't included, and I have the option for continuous or event-based recording. You can customize the detection area, sensitivity level, and make it specific to only detecting people, and it's relatively easy to scrub through the captured footage. If you'd rather a cloud-based recording option, then obviously no HomeKit secure video here, but SwitchBot does offer a cloud service plan that they say is highly encrypted and costs $7.90 per month or $79 for the year. Looking to add a smart temperature and humidity sensor to your smart home, then SwitchBot has one of these as well for just around $24. It's basically as you would expect. You can see the temperature and humidity right from the screen or from the SwitchBot app. When using the SwitchBot app, you can view the data historically by hour, day, week, month, or even year. The device is compatible with Siri Shortcuts and works with the Hoobs plugin, so you can view current data right from the Home app. You can combine this with the SwitchBot Humidifier, and by placing the meter right beside my bed, I can create an automation to turn on the humidifier when the humidity gets too low. And of course, only at night, in my situation at least. This is a more accurate way to control the humidity since levels could fluctuate between where I'm sleeping and the other end of the room. SwitchBot also has a motion sensor and a door and window sensor, which sells for around $31. For HomeKit users, unless you're using something like Hoobs to bring these into HomeKit, they aren't something I can highly recommend since, in my opinion, it's best to stick with something native to HomeKit when possible. They are compatible with Siri Shortcuts, but I don't think most people are going to use sensors just to check on the status of motion or a door window being opened. For customers in Europe, SwitchBot does sell a color A19 light bulb, so these sensors could be useful for turning on lights when motion is detected or when a door or window is opened. This would also work with the bots or the curtain or anything within the SwitchBot family. Luckily though, there is a Hoobs plugin that works for these sensors, so I did have the opportunity to test them out. And they work fine. Because they use Bluetooth, they're not really fast to respond. It would be great to see SwitchBot add Thread technology to their sensors, and perhaps with Matter, these will one day support HomeKit natively. The last accessory I want to talk about is one that I don't even have, and that's the SwitchBot Curtain. I actually don't have any curtains in my house. I prefer the crisp, clean look of blinds and shutters, but if you have curtains and you want to make them smart, then you do have options. Because I haven't been able to test them out myself, I can't give you a personal recommendation here, but based on everything I've heard, they do work really well. SwitchBot Curtains fits on your existing rail or rod, and they say installation only takes 30 seconds. The battery life is listed as 8 months, and there's an optional solar panel so you never have to worry about charging. SwitchBot Curtains is compatible with Siri Shortcuts, so opening and closing your curtains is only a Siri command away. I would love it if someone designed a way to make my great room shutters smart. If anyone could tackle that, perhaps it's SwitchBot, so SwitchBot, if you're listening. SwitchBot also sells their own NFC tags, which I mentioned when talking about the humidifier, and these can be easily configured right from the device settings. This can allow you for quick access to check the temperature and humidity with the SwitchBot Meter, or a shortcut to view a camera feed, When using NFC tags, you do need to make sure that you're using the iPhone XS or higher. So here are my overall thoughts on SwitchBot and how they work within the Apple Smart Home. Because they don't natively support HomeKit, it's not my top choice when it comes to their sensors. If you're going the Homebridge route, then sure, that can work, but there are comparably priced options on the market that use Zigbee with built-in HomeKit support. It's a different story though when it comes to their bots, mostly because they work really well and they solve a problem that I haven't seen many of their competitors tackle. They work great with Siri Shortcuts, and even better if you do what I did and bring them into HomeKit using Hoobs. The deciding factor here is going to be what you need them for. For devices that you've always wanted to make smart, like a dishwasher, washer and dryer, maybe a coffee maker, this could be a really great solution. And I already mentioned how well the humidifier works even with just Siri Shortcuts. The only other option that I'm aware of is the VocalLink Mist Flow Humidifier. It does support HomeKit and has a really nice light on it as well, but it's also more expensive, about $20 US more expensive. I've used the VocalLink Flower Bud, but not the Mist Flow, so I can't say firsthand if it's a good option, but I will say that I personally had some issues with some of the VocalLink products in terms of their reliability. Overall, it comes down to your needs and how much you want to spend, but it's great having the SwitchBot as an option since they have many unique products that can help to make our home smarter, and they're constantly innovating. If you want to pick up any of the products that I've listed today, then I have a discount code in the description. US customers can buy from Amazon.com or from SwitchBot Direct, and the rest of us can buy from the SwitchBot website and enjoy the same 35% discount. If you're watching this video after November 28th, then I still think their products are quite reasonably priced in my opinion. Hopefully this overview was helpful. If you want me to go into depth on any of these products, then be sure to let me know. That's it for this week's video though. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.